According to the Washington Post, a public citizen analysis found that the Biden administration has approved more drilling permits on public lands in his first year than the Trump administration did. Public Citizen reviewed month-to-month averages and found that Biden averaged more approvals in his first year than any of the first 3 years of the Trump presidency. This contradicts campaign promises by Biden during the 2020 presidential election, but just about fits with everything else Biden has done. As a senator, Biden commonly voted with Republicans and built a career fighting for racist legislation like segregated busing and the 1994 crime bill. Nevertheless, Biden claimed he would go hard on the oil industry during the 2020 presidential primary. In a CNN primary debate on March 15, 2020, Biden stated, number one, no more subsidies for the fossil fuel industry, no more drilling on federal lands, no more drilling, including offshore, no ability for the oil industry to continue to drill, period, ends, number one. On whitehouse.gov, Biden's administration has listed climate as one of its top priorities, stating the Biden administration will create good-paying union jobs to build a modern and sustainable infrastructure, deliver an equitable clean energy future, and put the United States on a path to achieve net zero emissions economy-wide by no later than 2050. In other words, Democrats will promptly address the climate catastrophe immediately after Trump's fourth term in office. It appears Biden's already insufficient climate promises will go unfulfilled, and things will continue to get worse. And Democrats didn't even have to blame the Senate parliamentarian this time for Biden's failure to follow through on another campaign promise. In the Republicans' hysteria to get every last thing wrong, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy tweeted about high gas prices and said, "This is what happens when the government is controlled by Democrats who cancel pipelines and keep American energy buried in the ground." It's almost like Democrats moving to the right only enables Republicans to radicalize further to the right. It's almost like both parties receive more money from doing so. It's almost like we have a political system built on bribery. And Fox News, in the depths of their clownishness, wrote, Biden blames soaring gas prices on big oil as he keeps up his war on fossil fuels. And then they cut to a commercial break sponsored by Exxon. Everyone's favorite professor, linguist, and outspoken political dissident, Noam Chomsky, said during the 2020 presidential election, "If you don't push the lever for Democrats, you are assisting Trump." Unfortunately, when you push the lever for Democrats, they keep pushing the lever for Trump anyway. But if we're being honest, Trump was also following in Obama's footsteps, who himself also followed George W. Bush with new oil and gas drilling.
And by the way, American energy production, you wouldn't always know it, but it went up every year I was president. And that whole, suddenly America's like the biggest oil producer and the biggest that was me, people. I just want you to. So.
The biggest joke of all is that any politician or political party will get us out of the climate crisis.